Hello, and welcome to today's edition of my worst look ever, maybe? This is dark, and I'm holding a joint. At least I have a girlfriend. She looks scared. Let's get into it. Oliver Queen. My version of Oliver Queen actually appears very early in actual DC published work, American Alien issue 3, in which Clark sort of surreptitiously, accidentally sneaks his way on board Bruce Wayne's yacht for his 21st birthday. Clark actually has an amazing time. This is his first time out of the Smallville bubble. Issue 3 of American Alien is about privilege, and it's about how experiencing extreme privilege changes your experience of the world. It changes your perspective on the world. Seeing a different level of society that functions at a level where they eat caviar like fucking potato chips, it fucks with you. And it fucks with Clark. You know, my version of Clark was going to be a veterinarian. But once he goes on this yacht party, he can't help but feel like there's a larger world out there. Someone who's not interested in a larger world? Oliver Queen. Ollie Queen is a douchebag, a cokehead, ketamine-snorting party boy who is pissing away the Queen fortune bit by bit, private plane full of models by private plane full of models, Dan Bilzerianing his way to a notorious type of celebrity in which he's viewed as an odious, noxious, obnoxious brat. Until his plane went down in the South Pacific. Because he was hooking up with the pilot, the person actually flying the plane was Ollie's bodyguard, because Ollie had started partying with the pilot before the flight even started. So it was just a fucking mess. It's insane. It's horrible. It's the sort of really toxic, horrible behavior you only see at the upper levels of douchebag wealth. And it cost Ollie everything. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm someone who fundamentally believes in the power of people to change, but I think Ollie needed this island. This island rebuilt Oliver Queen. By day 3, Ollie's self-obsession was fading fast, and survival became paramount. You see, not everyone on the plane died. 3 people were just really injured, and Ollie took care of them. In fact, he took care of 3 multiple amputees for 3 years on a jungle island where the only sign of civilization was an abandoned Japanese base from World War II filled with skeletons after it had been dosed with poison gas. In it, Ollie found an old samurai armor that he began to wear, rusted out, probably given as a gift from one Japanese general to another. Didn't do much against the poison gas, though. Time passed, and eventually Ollie forsook Oliver Queen. He refused to even be called by the name and adopted a new identity, Arrow, called such for his use of an authentic Japanese longbow on the island, which he became extremely proficient with. So proficient, in fact, he could shoot sparrows out of the air. So proficient, in fact, that he could shoot caps off people's heads. So intensely precise that he could shoot the finger off you with an arrow from 200 feet away, and he had to do it because finally someone arrived on the island. Fucking drug smugglers. Ollie was confronted by criminals, something that had never happened to him in his life. You know, this guy was a naive oaf, a drug-addled doofus. He is not prepared to fight and kill multiple criminals to protect the innocent friends that he's fostered for 3 years. Oh, sorry, actually he is. He kills all the criminals with a motherfucking bow and arrow. 23 people. 23 people. By the fucking 10th guy, Ollie wrote them a message in the sand that said, "Stop, I don't want to have to kill you all." They didn't speak English. And now they're all dead. But this meant, oh my God, I'm sweating in this turtleneck. Maybe I need to make this in black and white because I think I'm visibly flustered. Am I also, is my thing like off to the left of the, oh no, I'm centered. Am I okay? So now Ollie has a boat. He's never fucking driven a boat. He's now just a really ripped guy because he got very into working out on the island because he was trying to help the fucking amputees with physical therapy because Ollie is a fucking saint. He's fucking the sweetest guy in the world, even though he's still kind of a piece of shit, but we'll get to that. Ollie's now like abs. He's a wall of abs when he comes off this island. And there's pecs too. Like, pecs. Women used to see Ollie and they'd be like, oh. Now they see Ollie and they're like, oh my God. So Ollie, who has never driven a boat before in his life, gets on this boat with his crippled friends and gets them to fucking mainland China. Done. Oliver Queen is alive. The heir to the Queen dynasty, Queen Industries, Queen Incorporated, Queen Tech, Queen Med. All of these things had been given to their boards because in the time Ollie was on the island, his mother, who created this dynasty off what her grandmother built, died. She had a heart attack and died. All of the companies are now controlled by the boards of directors, and all of the boards of directors are actually headed by one guy, a man named Dr. Thaddeus Savannah. He's not good news. In fact, he was actually in a weird sexual relationship with Ollie Queen's mom for years and years and years, where he was like low-key like her husband and influencing all her business decisions and making everything worse and losing them millions of dollars, but she was in love with him. So this creepy scientist basically infiltrated this giant family of corporations by manipulating this poor fucking divorcee who'd been divorced 6 times. Ollie Queen's mother was basically Doris Duke. She was famously lovesick. She was famously super ambitious. She was famously someone who would get married, get divorced. So when this guy, Dr. Savannah, showed up, he sort of slid right in, and Ollie was high and drunk all the time. So it's not like he was there for his mom in a meaningful way. And now she's dead, and Dr. Savannah is in charge. Well, that's okay, because Ollie still has all the money, right? Actually, no. Ollie's illegitimate son, Connor, has been the recipient of his will. Dr. Savannah, found this kid in Cuba who Ollie had actually fathered. It's his real kid, Connor. Now, you have to keep in mind, Connor is basically Toyman Baratheon at this point. He's hidden behind walls of lawyers and bodyguards, including a very frightening man named Slade Wilson, who seems more assassin than protector. But Oliver has a really interesting reaction to all this because his entire outlook has changed. His view of the world is now entirely communal. He believes humans need to support each other every day, that no one is beyond repair, that if we just work together, yeah, he turned into Bernie Sanders on this fucking island. And oh my God, he's just as annoying as when he was an obnoxious brat, but now he's this self-righteous billionaire socialist. Oh, that's right. All the money's with his son. And Dr. Savannah wants to meet him. A series of events play out that I never really discuss in the epic, so me pitching them to you would be a lie. It's essentially Hamlet? Basically, the various different board members all manipulate and sabotage each other as Ollie just tries to reconnect with his son, except for eventually Ollie realizes that his efforts to get to Connor are putting his life in danger. Thaddeus Savannah is a lifelong con man. He is a monster, an actual political refugee, a fucking war criminal from the fucking Ukraine. This guy is bad news, and he's trying to have Ollie killed. The thing is, Ollie turns out to be harder to kill than you might think. You see, he has this bow and arrow, and he shoots you in the head with it, and you die. So, generally the attempts to assassinate Ollie go poorly. Ollie finally manages to get to Connor after an incredible fight with Slade Wilson, where a lifelong mercenary goes toe-to-toe with a guy with no formal fight training and gets kicked out a window. Just like he did when he fought Superman in issue 3. Motherfucking Slade Wilson, try to step to my fucking heroes. You're going through windows, you overrated loser character, you villain for teenagers. Get out of my universe! Bam! Oliver Queen reconnects with his son, accepts that he is now a father, and Connor gives him the money back. This leads to a series of poisonings, electrocutions. It's the Count of Monte Cristo. Hanging. He actually kicks someone. He gets into a fight with one of the board members because they try to murder him because their assassin chicken's out. So a fucking 65-year-old man tries to murder Ollie Queen on a subway and gets midway between the subway things caught in one of those loops of wire on the side of a subway and basically gets his head torn off. Ollie is a action hero badass. I would not describe him functionally as a superhero. Oh, I should mention, there's another origin hidden inside Green Arrow's story. The person who basically set up all of this for Dr. Savannah was a guy named Edward Nygma. Edward Nygma was an incredibly brilliant but deeply troubled and poisonously narcissistic, like to a Trump level, where like every sentence has to be, I'm the best, I'm the smartest, I'm the greatest, I'm the coolest, I'm the fucking Riddler, but not yet. After Edward Nygma defrauded, blackmailed, outsmarted everyone for Savannah, who basically played to Edward's ego and was like, I think you're the most brilliant man in the world. And Enigma was like, yeah, no one appreciates me because I can't hold down a job because all I do is complain about how great I am. Yeah, he's a psychopath. Although I guess I do eventually completely redeem him because he's not a psychopath. And also no one is beyond redemption.
You kind of said it with an accent too. No one is
beyond redemption.
beyond redemption.
No one is beyond
No,
redemption.
listen,
And no,
Tommy.
hey, listen, Tommy.
Hey, listen, Tommy.
Hey, Tommy.
No one is beyond redemption.
No one is beyond redemption.
Do it better than
Hey, Tommy.
it.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, I'm Tommy.
Wait, you're Tommy?
I'm Tommy.
Oh, hey, Tommy. Hey, Tommy, is anybody beyond redemption? Okay, sorry. The thing is, Dr. Savannah, when Edward had done this, Dr. Savannah sent the assassin, Deadshot, to kill Edward Nygma. But the thing is, Edward Nygma, like Oliver Queen, proved to be harder to kill than you might expect. All that shit about being the smartest person alive, it wasn't a joke. When the assassin Deadshot, Floyd Lawton, arrived at Edward Nygma's apartment, he found himself subject to an elaborate booby trap based around a riddle that he was barely able to solve before a machine killed him, Saw style. Lawton escaped but would never work for Savannah again, which was bad because now that Slade Wilson was gone and there was all this chaos going on with Oliver Queen, Edward Nygma re-emerged. You see, narcissists, they don't take assassination attempts lightly, especially psychopathic narcissists, like it turns out Edward Nygma is. Uh-oh, Savannah, watch out, motherfucker! The Riddler in Gotham City emerges, now a costumed criminal, mimicking the assassin who came to kill him, Deadshot. That's where Riddler got the idea for the costume. He built an elaborate trap at a Queen Industries affair, trapping everyone inside, focusing in on Dr. Savannah, and was able to kill him when Dr. Savannah couldn't answer the riddle. And guess what, baby? Oliver Queen didn't have to be the bad guy. He's back in charge of Queen Industries without ever having to deal with Dr. Savannah, but is now inexorably connected to a psychopathic Gotham criminal? Okay, Edward Nygma, when he attempts to clear his own name by basically hacking into the Queen database, which he can only do physically. So he has to take an entire building hostage because he's fucking losing his mind because he feels like he's been wrongfully accused, even though he murdered a guy kind of in cold blood and has in fact been endangering dozens of people. When he takes the building hostage, the cops don't show up. Instead, a black tank drives into the lobby of the building, and Edward Enigma is confronted by a maniac in body armor dressed as a bat who beats him into a 5-week coma. To be fair, Eddie probably would have killed everybody in that building if Batman hadn't intervened. But did Batman have to intervene like that? Edward didn't think so. In fact, he had a lot to say about that. The Bat thinks he can brute force me? No, he's just a man. I saw him up close, and I know this brain can beat that monster. Edward Enigma's narcissism led to him becoming obsessed with defeating Batman and becoming Riddler twice more to take hostages in Gotham, and each time Edward's psychosis fell deeper. First, it was a green suit with a derby hat and a purple mask. Then it was a green lycra bodysuit. It got weird. Edward's a weird guy. The thing is, I think it's the 5th time Edward Enigma became Riddler. He took all of the Queen executives hostage while they were in Gotham on the bridge. The night of the Killing Joke. Remember what happened in Agent of Batman? Riddler thought he was going to have a fight. Instead, for the first time in his life, he was confronted by someone who treated him with honest respect, even in the face of the Riddler's billowing narcissism, even in the face of the Riddler's past homicides. Clark was kind, compassionate, and honest. Eddie, in the moment, reacted in a way that was almost comically stunned. But in reality, this was a psychological breakthrough. Eddie deactivated the device and let the Queen executives go. Oliver Queen was fascinated by this choice because he'd been among the people kidnapped on that bridge the night of the Killing Joke. Yeah, if Superman hadn't shown up, the Green Arrow would have killed Riddler. About 8 months after the end of Agent of Batman, Clark Kent managed to convince Lois Lane to begin dating him again. Clark has been able to impress upon Lois that Superman is just a costume and that Clark is the real guy. He's not a lie. He answers her questions about his alien origins. He doesn't know. Have his parents been lying to her? Yeah. Who else knows? Oh, nobody. Oh, Victor Von Fries. Victor Von Fries knows. Just, Dick Grayson, Pete Ross, probably about half the people in Smallville. Wait, Pete knows? Yeah, of course Pete knows. He's my best friend. I'm your girlfriend! Bruce Wayne, but you knew that. And, just a couple other people, Lois. I just didn't want to, I didn't want to make it, weird, because you're Lois Lane. You can't be dating Superman. Come on, that doesn't make any sense, Lois. And she's like, yeah, you have to, immediately come out as Clark Kent, be Superman. Make it clear to everyone who you are. Because right now, Luthor is portraying you however he wants. You don't just need, a publicist, Clark. I can protect you a little bit, but what you really need is friends. Clark's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have superhero friends. I just have, Dick. And he doesn't want to be a superhero. All he does is eat Oreos and watch fucking Netflix. I can't get Dick Grayson off the couch since he stopped being Robin. You need to not put this heat on me. And Lois is like, Clark, you already have the friends. Didn't you say you spoke to that thing, the Aquaman? You can find him again, right? What about Edward Enigma? Edward Enigma is a psychopathic criminal. No, Edward Enigma has requested to speak to Superman every day since he's been in Arkham, Clark. How do you know that? Because I keep track of fucking Superman for the Daily Planet, Clark!
Just a little bit.
Oh, I've been like hunched forward the whole time.
No, puff it, puff it. There you go. End it on a strong note.
Okay. Oh God, has my shirt been like wrinkled forward so I look like a little fat boy this whole time?
No, you look really skinny.
Like too skinny?
Not too skinny, just like here. Like
oh, I'm like a.
You're like, hey.
Hello. Is this what I look?
You're like the sideways model, huh? I can just hear your bones crack.
Yeah, it hurt. It hurt.
It hurt.
You're slapping me like I'm cattle.
Yeah, get it.
I didn't mean slap me more. So Clark goes to see the Riddler in Arkham as Superman. He basically gets the whole place shut down, which is crazy because Arkham is already a very dangerous place. But once Superman's in there, the entire GCPD is there. Of course, Batman is watching from the wings, but at this point, they haven't talked in a long time. He's got this weird new Robin, Jason Todd, don't get me started. Clark talks to Eddie, and Eddie's honest with him. He says, look, I didn't want to be the Riddler. All I wanted was it to be recognized that I'm the smartest person on the planet. And Clark goes, well, yeah, Eddie, I recognize that. Like, clearly, you're the Riddler on your own. You build traps alone that are like basically masterful works of art. I have nothing but deep, abiding respect for your genius. But you're sick. Eddie, you're sick. You've killed people. I am a criminal. I have become a criminal. I'm not ignorant of that, Superman. I don't know why you came. You're Superman. You stop criminals. And Clark says, no, Batman stops criminals. I'm Superman. I help people, Eddie. And you look like someone who needs my help. I'm putting a team together. And I want it to be our team because I can't do it on my own. And Eddie goes, so Eddie's sitting there staring at Superman and he goes, okay. And Clark goes, okay, it'll be hard to operate from inside Arkham, but we'll get this started. We'll figure it out. And Eddie goes, okay, I'll get myself out of Arkham. How, you ask? Well, I think you should talk to a man named Oliver Queen because he is behind the Arrow murders. He is the Arrow vigilante. Oliver Queen is the Green Arrow. We definitely need him on our team, Superman. Or Clark, can I call you Clark? I know you're Clark Kent. Anyone could figure that out. A child could figure it out. You're Lois Lane's boyfriend. You wear glasses, Clark. God, you sound like Batman. Don't say I sound like Batman! So begins the society with a friendship and a redemption. If you want to know what happens next, you can actually go and watch my video JSA Toyman because I am mentally ill and do these out of order. That's Oliver Queen and the Riddler. And those are my guys. Those are two of the main characters of the Kryptonian epic. Way over Batman and, what's the other one? Robin? There's one called like Wonder Woman, I think. And then there's like a fast guy called like Zippy or something. Next up, I think I'm going to get into Zatanna and Ted Kord. But I'm going to do that in a really kind of crazy way. I'm actually going to release that completely illustrated with a long story. I'm going to write it out and I might do something on here, but I'll post the link. And of course, follow me on Instagram at UpToMyKnees1985 for more terrible outfits. This has been another Kryptonian epic long-form ramble about the backstory of a comic I will never write. Have a good night, everybody.